She told me, "Oh my God, I just hate lesbian sex. It's the worst."
And the girls, some of the girls would be like, I was like, holy. And these little, the new girls would be like fucking sideways by the time they were done getting fucked.
It's more tasty, I would say.
Tasty.
Yes, because pussies taste, actually taste, when you shoot porn with guys, they wash their dicks so much that there is zero smell or taste at all. So I need to finger you and eat your pussy thinking that you hate it. You're like letting me rape you for money.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, people over the age of 18. I'm your co-host, Porno Dan, with my man, the wokest guy in porn, Mick Tommy, and our special guest today, all the way from Ukraine with love, Talia Mint, who loves vodka and pickles. And that's what we're going to have to start. So we're going to start something different today. So
drinking on the podcast.
Drinking on a pod. First time, yeah.
I'll cheers with my water.
And I just came from the gym, so I'm probably going to hit her. I'm like,
So you guys, the reason we are drinking is not because I'm a raging alcoholic. Actually, we have a story about that with Dan. And last time I visited him, I stayed at his house a few times. I was his guest. He prepared a room for me, and he left a jar of pickles and a bottle of vodka on the pillow. It was so sweet.
this is what she likes. This is the way she rolls.
Yeah, we decided to make it a tradition.
Yeah, so here we go. To vodka
Cheers.
and pickles, Ukraine style.
Yes.
I don't know how you drink straight vodka.
First time I drink on camera.
Yeah, so you're not allowed to... Are you allowed to drink on camera for porn?
No, of course not.
You are?
What? Not maybe you are. You are. Me no.
It's not that bad if you eat the pickle right after. But I'll tell you what, warm vodka right after coming from the gym is a woo! I'm going to Ric Flair Space Mountain. Boy. Anyway.
So how's your week been? And I'm not the wokest person on this podcast anymore. You are.
No, you are.
Last
My week, my eye is better, so I can actually... so last week I couldn't shoot because I had to cancel my shoot because my eye was messed up.
Somebody came in the eye.
I got conjunctivitis. I couldn't see out of my eye. But now my eye's better and I can see. And so what did I do this week? I went to the gym every day. I worked on my website. I edited a bunch of stuff. And I went through about... What I really did, but most of my time, was I went through, I inventoried and logged about 300 gold coins and tons of jewelry, diamonds, sapphires.
I saw the photo of all
Okay,
your
this is what
gold.
my hobby thing is. I buy diamonds and sapphires and rubies and precious gems and rings, and I buy all vintage stuff, and my friend brought over a lot of stuff, and then I get it cleaned up and appraised, and then I resell it on eBay. So what I had about 300 items I had to log in. So what I do is I have an Excel spreadsheet and I keep track of everything.
It's so funny to imagine. I imagine you with like your glasses. And
Of course I got my glasses.
No, a monocle. I think.
Monocle,
A monocle.
yeah.
No, check out what I have. These are all the things. I have a gold tester that tells you the purity of the gold. I have a scale that goes to... It's an old former scale that goes to the 100th of a gram, so I can make sure everything actually weighs. But so that's what I've been doing. But the main thing I've been buying lately is I've palladium. So anyone listening, palladium is the precious metal that's taken off like wildfire.
Because you've bought all the gold. There's none left.
You know what? Just
But
true
he's
story.
reselling,
Do you know Hungary tripled its gold reserves on Monday?
I saw that article.
Yes, I sent it to you. But the Hungary, this is because right now, as you're probably aware, inflation is taking off again for people to understand. So what that means, my degrees in economics, we'll talk about this really quick, is your money is becoming worth less because you can buy less. So you need to have a hedge against inflation because things are going to start costing more at the stores. And in the times of inflation, what's the safest thing?
I live in Hungary, so my money's already worthless.
Yeah, but the foreign's buying less. So like, have you noticed
crazy.
if you go to the grocery store, like you can buy, everything's cost more already.
Yeah.
It's last month it was up stuff. Consumer price index rose about 8%, which is a huge number.
I thought we were talking about pussy.
We
Yeah,
are,
yeah.
but that's what it is. So let's get back to the things that are important.
How's your week been, Talia?
It's been amazing. I have recently became officially homeless.
Homeless?
Yes.
Why?
Well, a traveler would be a more appropriate term because...
A vagabond?
A vagabond, exactly.
Do you have like a stick with like a...
I have a stick with American Tourister that weighs 24 kilos.
All right.
But I don't normally use a stick. I just roll it around. But yeah, I have spent the last half a year traveling, and meanwhile I was paying for an apartment where I was not living at. So I realized that I want to continue. I want to keep traveling and discover different countries, meet different like OnlyFans creators that I want to collaborate with. So there was no point for me to keep paying rent.
I get it.
And I just put my stuff in storage, and now I'm going around.
Where
the
were
world
you
with my
for
luggage.
people before? So you're no longer, can I say what country you were living in before?
In Spain.
In Spain. So now you're no longer living in Spain. You're just a citizen of the world.
I'm a citizen of the world.
I like that.
I
World
still
citizen.
love Spain, and I want it to be my home. It's just that for the next year, I want to do as much traveling as I can, because in the past 7 years, I've been visiting a lot of countries, but mostly the same. So we go to Prague, we go to Budapest, sometimes
Yeah, I
Germany,
understand.
sometimes Berlin, sometimes Paris. But it's always around Europe, and it's always in circles. And I need to get inspiration from different experiences and other places.
What places do you have on your hit list of places to go find new people for OnlyFans?
Next time I'm gonna go travel around South America. So
Wow.
yeah, I've met a lot of girls from in Mexico, in Tulum, that are OnlyFans creators, and they
Cool.
live in Argentina, they live in Cuba, and they are extremely hot.
I believe that.
Yeah. Can we come with you?
I believe the Argentinians are hot. Argentinian women are hot.
Oh my God, so hot! They're all like Victoria's Secret models.
yeah, they're really
yes. So
And so we're going to subscribe to your OnlyFans, I think.
subscribe
right
to my
now.
OnlyFans.
And I feel like this could be like an OnlyFans challenge. Like, who's going to be the first model to work with a creator in every country? And
You
it's
can
like,
have like pins.
Wow,
like
that
you
is
can
a
make
great
like
idea.
Yeah.
you can create like a map. Like on a globe, and have like a little thing like on your front page, like your I don't know, like your Twitter, and be like, "Where should I go next?" And it lights up like ding 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 ding. Like remember the game Risk? Did you ever play Risk?
yeah, you're conquering.
Oh,
You're conquering
I'm
places.
conquering pussies
Yeah,
from
so you're
different
conquering,
countries.
and like you're like, so you have like your little Talia wrist toy, and you're like, I just took down Colombia.
But there'd be
That's
some
Venezuela.
there'd be some
And their
really
neighbors,
like
Panama.
there'd be some really coveted ones, like getting the Vatican City or
God.
North Korea.
Wow.
You're probably the wrong
No,
gender
no,
for
I
the
don't
Vatican.
think
Well,
North
for-
Korea would go over very well. That's called prison.
That would be the last ever
like
video
shooting-
posted on my OnlyFans.
I think if you were a young boy, you might stand a better chance in the Vatican.
Yeah, maybe.
That's cool. So you've been shooting content for your OnlyFans,
Yes, I've
and
been
that's
doing
is
that a lot.
that your primary thing now? Is you content creating for yourself, right? That's your primary source of income.
It was my primary source of income while I was on like the longest holiday of my life, because it was still a holiday. I was working, I was shooting, but not 100% present. Before that, I haven't been on holidays since like, I don't know, 6 years. So on a proper holiday, you know, every like few days
You earned
between
it.
the shoots, yes, but it's not enough. So I couldn't get enough, and plus COVID and everything was closed here. Most
yes.
productions were not shooting that often.
Right.
So I just thought I would use this time to be in a nice place. But yeah, and I saw that I can travel and I can live perfectly well with what I make on my OnlyFans, and I can make better content for my fans,
Sure, of
more
course. It's
interesting,
more interesting.
stuff. Yeah. So I'm doing kind of like an adult travel blog, and I try to meet
cool.
as many different people as I can who also do OnlyFans or are in adult industry, sometimes just nude models, just to diversify, and because, you know, I like
Now,
I like
when
to
you
have
say
good company.
OnlyFans, but you don't just limit. Like if they're like on another platform, it's not like they go on the bad guy list. Like if they're on ManyVids, it's like, ooh, you're a ManyVid girl, you're not cool. I can't work with you. I'm Team OnlyFans.
Yeah, no, it's not like that. We all have our preferred platforms.
So the ManyVids girls are still down with
I'm
the
not
program.
platform racist.
You're not okay. You're not
Platformist.
discriminating.
Yeah,
You're not
platformist.
platformist.
I'm not platformist.
Not one of
exactly.
those. Oh, I'm too good for you. You're an I want clips, you loser.
Yeah, I think the only
You're
one
a clips for sale girl.
the only one that's like that a little bit, I think, is Patreon. Like some of the Patreon
Well,
ones are
we're
like,
banned from Patreon and porn.
like I don't make porn, I make art.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes
Well,
you see
Patreon,
girls
they
that
kicked us
do
off.
on ManyVids something that looks way more like art than some things on Patreon.
Definitely.
There are so many creative content creators on ManyVids, and you can see like all kinds of shit from different cosplays, different like scenarios. It's really like it's inspirational. On OnlyFans, you don't see all the content of all the creators when you go to the website. It's more like personal.
Yeah, it's hard to find people on OnlyFans.
Yeah, but
So
also
there's not a good search way, and you can't preview.
Yeah.
Where you can preview on many vids.
Anyway, so today's podcast, all about lesbian porn. Let's get into it.
Tommy, did you used to be a lesbian in a past life? You see, sometimes I think you're very effeminate.
A lot of people do think that. Like, I know Eddie Izzard, like a UK comedian, he said that he's always felt like a lesbian trapped inside the body of a man. And I think that's how many men feel when they're watching lesbian porn.
No.
Like, I wish I could do
I don't. No, never.
I don't think so.
It feels like a secret club to me. I don't know. Like,
No, Tom.
no?
Never let that cross my mind.
I had most of my fans who are lesbian porn fans. They actually tell me that they just don't want to see the dick, and maybe they feel like competitive, or they feel maybe like
That's why they like my porn, since I have half
by
a
the
dick.
size of the penis, or
Yeah.
they want to imagine that the girl can be only for them. And that's why they watch lesbian porn.
Yeah,
Not,
one
not
of my
because they want to be a
friends,
girl.
one of my friends watches trans porn for that reason, that he doesn't want to see men in porn, but he still wants to see the girl get penetrated.
So he watches trans.
Yeah.
But that
But
makes
she-
sense to me. I get that.
But I get it with the lesbian thing as well. It's like maybe it's an insecurity, like that if I'm looking at a naked man, it kind of makes me a bit.
Yeah, I
gay.
think probably it's that.
No, I think I understand. Okay, for example, I know why a lot of guys watch my stuff is because they can identify with me. Whereas a lot of times in porn, the guys can't identify with the other guy, and I think a lot of times, and I think like you said, why guys watch lesbian porn, and I've produced hundreds and hundreds of lesbian scenes. Because a lot of guys do not want to see another male; but they like to see the female. So I think that's but everyone has their own reasons.
Yeah, and I think also there's like
It's very it's popular.
it feels like you're let into this secret. Like I know as a guy, even if you're in a bar and you see some girls kissing, it sets off
It
like
used to
some
be-
sort of.
Yeah, I think it used to be much more like when I was young. Okay, we're going back in time before time. Before the wheel was invented, that lesbians were something like taboo and like you didn't know about, right? So it's like if you saw like a girl. I remember like when we were in college, and if you saw girls kiss, you're like, "Whoa, bro! Did you see that, bro? Check it out, oh, bro!" We used to hire. Okay, it's a true story. My fraternity would hire girls during Rush. And we would
What's
hire
Rush?
Well, when you would try to recruit new members.
Okay.
And we would hire lesbian strippers, which of course,
The best kind of strippers.
Well, and I shockingly had connections to the lesbian strippers. So we would hire lesbian strippers, and most guys, this is going back 30 years ago, had never seen girls kiss before, let alone use like a dildo, and they would go crazy. These are 18, 19 college kids. And they'd never seen anything like this, and would just lose their minds. Oh my God, check it out! I go screaming, yell, and but it was like because it was a big deal. But I think since then, in the past 30 years, lesbianism becomes much more accepted, and
Definitely.
bisexuality become much more accepted as
It's
well.
completely accepted, but I
Completely
think
accepted.
it still causes like a huge controversy, even if like two pop stars kiss. Like it's not that long ago that they had like the Madonna and Britney one.
Right? No,
And
I
it's like-
totally agree.
It's just ridiculous that the media and every male goes into a frenzy as soon as they see girls
Two women
kissing.
kiss. It's like, oh,
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Madonna and Britney, it was not a long time ago in terms of time, but in terms of the internet,
Yeah, true.
it's been ages.
Ages in terms of
internet is
internet.
really young,
But still, like when you hear about, like for example, I can't think of Miley Cyrus, whoever being in a lesbian relationship. Still, people they don't make as much of a deal about it as say like when Ellen came out or when other people came out, But they still make a big deal about it.
Yeah, it's rare to see like a lesbian kiss on TV even now.
To see like on mainstream television.
You should watch Sense8, one of
Yeah.
my favorite shows. And
I tried watching the first episode, but
no, keep watching. First episode is really confusing, and it's more like a sci-fi thriller kind of thing. No, it's brilliant. It's about relationships with people and how people from different opposite sides of the world with completely different lifestyles, and some of them struggling with being gay or transsexual, lesbian. They connect with each other, and they get to live moments of their lives through each other, and learning a lot through that experience. So there are many moments that I was just crying.
Wow.
What's the name of
It's
the
so
show? What is the name of the show?
Sense8.
Sense8.
What?
Sense8, yes, it's on Netflix.
Sense8?
Never
heard of it.
We'll have to watch.
Yeah, and there are many moments when there are gay couples having sex, and at some moments there were 8 people linked, and all of them had kind of like an orgy.
Okay.
But it was just a passion because they could feel emotions of each other. It's in some points with strong stimuli, you know. And you see how a person that is straight is being drawn to people just who are of the same sex, just because they broke the barrier of
Tommy, are you ready for this? Are you ready to
barrier.
take the plunge in an orgy?
It was not like an orgy. It was a very
Tommy,
beautifully
are you ready?
shot-
Are you ready to go to break the final another wall down? Tommy in an orgy.
It was.
I've been to an orgy.
But have you been in one as a participant?
I went to one.
A participant.
And then I had a fight with my girlfriend and went home. I went to an orgy and didn't have sex.
Why am I not
God, I don't have sex.
I was like,
Did she have sex?
no, I was like,
You both left.
I was like, this is not for me.
Waste of an orgy.
I used to shoot a lot of orgies.
Not
tons
an orgy
in
guy.
America.
But lesbian porn, like what? I think we're kind of getting to what's hot about it. And
I think for everyone it's different.
like you get to like see this different world as well, which is like what you're saying. I think that's really interesting. Right? Do you think lesbians watch lesbian porn, or is lesbian porn just made for men?
I think there's 2 types personally.
No, okay. Lesbians do watch lesbian porn. There are just some moments in lesbian porn when a real lesbian would know that, okay, this is
porn girl
this
is faking.
This is faking, especially when you try to get a shot of scissoring and it's really hard. And
Yeah,
sometimes you cannot actually do scissoring properly, touching clitoris.
Is scissoring a porn move, or is it a real lesbian move?
I have been with a real lesbian who loved scissoring, and she was the only one who could not make me come, but get me very close to an orgasm with scissoring. Normally, for me, it's more like a foreplay, but it's a preference. You know, there are many things that you can do. Some people do like oral, some people don't. And the same, it's physically more challenging. And when you do it in real life, it's always one person who is kind of in control. It's not both people moving like you see in porn. It's one person fucking another, mostly, you know.
Okay.
And yeah, it's not my favorite, but yes, lesbians do it. Just not how it's shown on camera sometimes.
Well, it's like fucking for porn sex. How many people actually do reverse cowgirl, leaned all the way back with her, so or missionary, where your legs popped all the way up and over, where I mean, all the positions that we do in porn, like I said, maybe call me lazy, but they're horrible freaking when you're fucking like that. They're opening up for the camera, and I understand what you're saying.
I tried filming scissoring once, but I always found filming lesbian porn really challenging. Like if I film like just straight sex, it's very easy to make the girl look hot.
Yeah.
But when it's like 2 girls, I found like the angles were often really awkward.
I found that to be the opposite, but maybe I've
also.
But
I couldn't.
But I think the difference is I was working with professional porn girls, and because I was working with professional porn girls that have experience, and I've shot hundreds, and I've been nominated for best lesbian movie, best lesbian series multiple times. Because I was working with professional porn girls, they knew what they were doing. And it was, for me, extremely, in fact, the easiest porn I've ever shot. Because you don't have the issue with, you don't have to worry about a hard cock, the guy, exactly.
That's true.
You don't. And for me, again, as a director, a producer, it's much easier because you don't have to worry about the cum shot. You don't have to worry about, the dick going up and down. You don't have to worry about all the issues that we have with straight porn. And, or guy on girl porn, excuse me. But I found it very simple.
And you're right, when you have like a really good
again,
performer,
but I was working with I'd say 95% of the girls that I worked with had experience. In fact, what we used to shoot a lot of, I would shoot orgies, but I would take a break in the middle, and I'd have girls that were girl only that would work for us.
It's like halftime entertainment at the Super Bowl.
What I would do is this. This is what we do. We had girls, okay, because one of them actually, she was under contract at the time with a very big, I can say it, Wicked Pictures. Her name's Aiden Ashley, and there were other girls of her caliber they were under boy-girl contracts. They couldn't do boy-girl for other companies, but they were my friends and liked my atmosphere of my happy universe partying, and would come over for our shoots, and they would do girl during our boy-girl shoots. So even it was like with me and another girl, they would come over and they would just do the girl part. And they would be in the scene with me, but they wouldn't be fucking me because they couldn't. And there was more than her, there was other ones. And sometimes it'd be me and other guys, like 2, 3, 4 guys. But we'd have girls that were like the designated girl only girls. And they would help with the flow. And they would, when you guys needed a break, they would have their strap-ons and their toys. And they knew, and again, it was simple because they knew the angles that looked good. And they knew more, like Aiden Ashley and this other girl, Ash Hollywood. They knew more about lesbian sex than I could ever know because these girls were real lesbians and are really bisexual in real life, not lesbians.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. Is like when I was like trying to film lesbian porn, I think only once did I have like 2 girls that were genuinely into each other, and it was easy.
Had real lesbian sex.
I always used to ask them. I used to say like, "Are you bisexual?" Because if you're not, we don't have to do a lesbian part. They would always say yes, and then you see them, and they're like scared of kissing.
Do you
and
find
like,
that
they look so uncomfortable?
You find that as a thing here in Europe? I've found that to be a big problem when I shoot boy, girl. A lot of the girls are like, "Oh, I don't like this." They'll do it, but it's very begrudgingly. They're not. Most of the girls and most of the female models that I've experienced, and I've worked with hundreds here, are not really bisexual. Most of the American girls are.
I would say when I was starting my career, yes, I met a lot of girls who were straight and just working because they wanted to make money. But now I just work for better productions, and I get matched with girls that actually enjoy both girls and guys and sex in general, And I think to make a really good career in this industry, you kind of have to like sex in general, And even if you're not so much into girls that you would date one, you would still enjoy a sexual experience with that person. But in first years, I had like once a girl right before the shoot told me, like I was telling you that when we first met. So she told me, "Oh my God, I just hate lesbian sex. It's the worst."
And she was booked for a lesbian scene.
Yeah. Next morning I had to shoot with her, and I would say no, maybe now, if it was so straightforward, because it makes me feel uncomfortable if a person says, "I hate it, it's the worst." Not just like, it's not my favorite, but I hate it.
Yeah, she's hired to do girl.
Exactly. So I need to finger you and your pussy, thinking that you hate it. You're like letting me rape you for money. It's really bad.
Do you think that might be? I think one of the differences. Do you think that's a cultural thing where it's not? It's still, for example, where we live in Hungary, lesbianism is nowhere near as accepted as it is, for example, in America.
I think that a lot of them, at least in my experience, I felt they said yes, that they were bisexual to me, because they felt like I wouldn't book them.
They wanted it for the money.
So I feel they thought they'd lose work if they weren't bisexual.
Which they would have, to be fair.
No, they wouldn't. Like we wouldn't have done that awkward lesbian video.
Bad lesbian porn.
Yeah.
Maybe they just wanted to make a better scene, and they thought that adding the lesbian part to it would, give them credit, or they wanted you to hire them again.
Do you think that's a cultural thing? Because, like I said, for example, the American actresses, a lot of them will have had lesbian sex off camera. And then if I ask the European models, especially the Czech and the Hungarian actresses, very few have. But it seems that I'm going.
Could be cultural.
I think that's what I'm asking. But I notice a lot of the Spanish girls when I ask them, the girls from Spain, they say yes.
Yeah,
they have. And I don't know if that's a cultural thing. If it's maybe it's a lot more acceptable in Spain.
I used to live with a lesbian in the UK, and I had this conversation with her once. I said, like, "What is it awkward if a girl like rejects you?" And she said, "It's never happened because girls are usually curious."
In the UK,
yeah.
But again, I think with the English girls too. So do you notice that too? Like it's by regional in Europe.
I would say in Ukraine, most girls experiment.
The Russian, Russian Ukrainian girls.
Ukrainian, I know because I lived in Ukraine. I grew up in Ukraine. Sure. Russia is a little bit different, and I think more close-minded sexuality-wise than Ukraine. But in Spain, a little bit less than Ukraine. Ukrainian girls are like super horny and really perverted.
Okay.
And Ukrainian guys
know.
are a little
Thank
bit more like conservative, so that's why we all go and
Go abroad. That's why you
abroad,
see.
yeah.
That's why you see all the Ukrainian girls as Instagram models in Dubai.
Instagram models in Dubai.
Exactly. It's not because of the money. We just actually love sex. Yeah.
So how do you handle it when you're working with a girl that's not into it? Like I know what
I haven't had to do it in a while, to be honest.
So most time you get mad when companies hire you for girl, you're working with fellow Ukrainians or Spanish girls or girls that actually like it. You're not working with the new girls like the new girls who could be from another country that don't like it.
I have been on holiday for a while, and before that I started doing hetero porn just recently 2 years ago. So most of my bookings, most of my shoots were hetero. And the lesbian ones that I had, even from like 3 years ago, most of them are with people like Gia Lisa, for example. I shot with her recently. Now with oh my God, I forgot her name. She's actually my friend.
But you're working with girls. But lately you've been working with girls like Gia Lisa, girls that actually that have lesbian sex off camera.
Exactly.
Okay, well, so which is good. Well, I think, and again, I think that's like I was saying about the American girls. Most of them, and I think it's also true where a lot of girls in university or what you guys call university, college, experiment around. So I think that's probably, and again at the UK and Spain. So it's kind of like a cultural thing. It sounds like where certain countries, certain region, more girls are more experimental.
To be honest, I don't know. I think just in some countries, girls need money more, and they would. Yeah, they would be more likely to do, because in Spain you can do any kind of job that you want and you have enough to live. But in some places in Czech Republic, some girls just start doing porn, not necessarily because they love it, but because they want money. And it's not just about lesbian porn; they just do porn in general.
Yeah, porn in general. I understand.
Yeah, because they want money. And some girls do it to get famous because they want a lot of attention, and they don't do it because they love sex or because they love porn. Just to get like a lot of followers.
Which is fine. I think like you said, there's numerous reasons for doing porn, and I think that's fine. You have the girls who do it strictly for the monetary thing, which is perfectly fine if that's what your choice is. You have girls who do it for the fame, and then there's third type, the ones that actually love sex.
And it's interesting, like the traditional career of a porn star. Okay, not so much now. Was like start with solo shoots.
This
lesbian,
is 25 years ago, even 30 years ago, before I started.
But some still do it that way. So some still ease into it.
That was this is in the 80s where before I was a kid, that you would see that the girls, that would be under quote contract.
Yeah, but like Talia, you didn't do boy girl right away. You like built up to it.
I didn't per se build up to it. I just built myself up, I guess, as a person first, and I met a lot of porn actors on locations while I was traveling. It was not just going and fucking a stranger. They were my friends already. I haven't been shooting hetero porn for 5 years. Also, I thought that it would affect my relationships if I preferred to have a male partner. It would limit my choice because a lot of guys have like judgments against sexual women, and you understand. But then I just got older and I realized that I don't want to be with a person who is not on my page, who doesn't want to have the same lifestyle as I do, and that you should not shape your lifestyle to a person, but the other way around, So my last relationship finished, and I said, okay, I'm going to just try everything I want with people I want.
That's really cool.
Yeah, but it actually did give me an advantage because I already grew a fan base and people knew me better. So I was able to get more jobs, and it was not like I was starting and shooting my first scene.
It's not like you're starting at the beginning, because like for example, we'll just talk about like prices. A beginner girl gets paid less than and again, I'm generalizing, but 99% of the beginner girls, if they're a beginning boy or girl, are going to get paid a lower rate than somebody who's established and has a following. I mean, if you do well, for example, and I love these Google Trends, if I can type your name in and you're popular and you're established, you're going to get paid substantially more than a girl who's brand new because she has something called fans. You're going to get traction. You're going to get sales. So because you already had traction in sales from previously from doing girl, you were able to command a higher rate.
Exactly, but you can also just grow your social media. Because that does the same thing. You're growing potential customer base for their productions because what they want is sales and
sales.
clients.
That's all it comes down to, right? And again, it's based on sales, and that's why I always tell models. That's why I always say before, if you're going to do commercial porn, always shoot for yourself first.
You also have to look at yourself as a business because you are in entertainment industry. So you have to do whatever you like in sex in your private life, but when it comes to work, sometimes, of course, don't do anything that you don't want to, obviously. But do only things that you like, that your fans like. You know, you can.
Do you have like lesbian fans?
I did have a lot. Now I think I lost quite a few. Because a lot of lesbian fans are jealous. They want to fantasize that I'm like their girlfriend.
So once you're bisexual, they lose the interest.
So they knew I was bisexual. I was never lying about my sexuality. I was saying always that in porn I prefer that. Up to the point when I decided that I want to try other things. But it doesn't matter. They just didn't see me. So for them, I was like this pure girl. I was not a slut. I was
because you were a girl
that would exactly. I would stay home, cook him dinner, and eat pussy in the meantime. You know.
So but then when you did boy-girl scenes, they lost
I'm
that
slut.
Yes. That fantasy went away. Okay,
so if you sleep with lots of women, it's not slutty. But if you sleep with lots of men, you are.
From a male
this sounds like Tommy talking about his Tinder life.
Yeah.
What?
A lot of males still perceive it that way. That sex with a woman is not sex.
Oh, it's the men that think that.
Yeah, it's men that think that. It's
she's saying her male fans.
Her
male fans like the fact she didn't have sex with other males.
Yeah, of course.
But now because she has sex with other males, some of her male fans have moved on to girls you don't have sex with other males.
A lot are disappointed. Like I was getting emails with people crying, like, "Oh my God, I thought you would never do it."
Really?
And no, like I broke their hearts, you know.
Because you started working with guys.
Because I started working with guys, and in their fantasy, it was probably so deep that I was their girlfriend living with them
and bringing home girls only.
Yeah,
like they dreamed if I just meet her, then we'll live happily ever after.
Yes,
and there's none of these giant.
Tommy, do you have that dream ever?
Frequently.
I think it's also easier to
Tommy, why do I see you and she's like, "That is my girlfriend. She's go only."
Again,
I can see Tom. Why do I see you doing
I've
that?
had to apologize to both of you on this podcast for emails I've sent in the past. Oh my God.
She won't work with you or your friends.
It's so interesting, but the idea of like female fans and females that pay for porn is quite rare and hard to get. But it sounds like you had some lesbian fans. And that's interesting.
Yes, I had a few lesbian fans. I had a couple of times that girls were buying Skype show from me, like on Manyvis, for example. And I look at her, and she's so hot. I have to pay her. Like I feel I want to give her.
We're
money.
just dreaming that happens to us.
Never happened to me. Never. 20 years.
Yeah.
I've had a few female fans where I'm like. And I'm always questioning. I'm like, write down today's date because I'm always like, it's a lie.
Whenever I've had,
because whenever they write, they're like, oh, put it in, and then I see a picture of today's date, and I'm like, baby Jesus likes me today. It's a Christmas miracle.
When I see the card payments on my site, if there's a female name, I always have to give the money back because it's fraud. It's like a stolen card or something.
Oh my God, somebody's wife.
It's crazy, but. Well, yeah, it's really. And what about like when you meet female fans? Is it the same as like when you meet male fans?
Like if you're at a convention and you like say, there's not as many conventions in Europe, but you've been at conventions. Have you ever signed a convention where you're signing autographs to female fans come up?
I had couples. Yes, but not females. I went on a date. Females. The only fan I've ever in my life went on a date with was a girl.
The girl fan, interesting.
Was a girl, yeah, and she was very cute. She was cute. I met her through. She follows my Instagram. She follows my work. She wasn't I wasn't doing OnlyFans back in the day. She just reached out to me on Instagram. I had a free day. I was really bored. And she seemed to be an intelligent, beautiful young woman that invited me out. And I thought, okay, I might give it a try. Why not? She was very disappointed because she thought there would be this character she sees in porn and social media that would just entertain her, and I was just me, you know. It's not like I'm not myself every time I perform. It's just, of course, you exaggerate everything.
Yeah.
And it was normal. And she was like, oh, it's not what I expected. You're not like on your Instagram. And I'm like, okay, give me a phone. Show me your Instagram. Come on, let's look through your stories.
Yeah, people are so
you
much
like
more
that?
complicated than their social media profile.
See,
You
my
can't
guys,
show everything.
I've met thousands of fans, of guy fans, and they're always like, "You're just like I thought. Let's take a shot." I'm like, "Yeah, let's take a shot." I mean, like, yeah, you really watch football. You really get drunk. You really fuck girls. Yeah, that's really
No,
me.
but the thing they wouldn't
I'm
see.
so transparent.
Dan, you've been doing it for so long. Then there is no difference between you and your online personality. You blend it.
Yeah, are you real or are you just a TV character? No one knows.
No, I'm an NFT.
So tell us about what it's like to actually film lesbian porn. Like we've filmed it, but we haven't performed.
I've never. Yeah,
so-
well, this is for one. Tommy and I've never obviously.
Yeah.
Maybe Tommy in his past life.
I suggested we just bang some wigs on and list ourselves on as talent, as female talent.
Yeah,
What are you going to be, Tommy
can-
the trans?
I wouldn't be trans. I would be a girl.
Your dick is that small.
I am
it's the size
whatever
of clitoris.
gender I choose to be. If I choose to be a girl, you treat me as a girl. And I'm going to
So
do
you're
some.
not trans. You're just a full female.
Yeah, I'll do some lesbian porn.
Okay.
Okay.
So what will it
so
be
you
like?
wouldn't be a trans,
No, I'd be
A woman.
yeah.
a trans woman.
Can I? Is you,
Without
are you,
the trans, just a woman.
I know
Would
it's-
you
I know
go
it's
for full
illegal and-
surgery?
are you going to change your pronouns to she, her?
If I do lesbian porn, yeah, I think so.
As long as you change the
Although
pronouns.
that would be illegal in Hungary, where you're only
Oh
allowed
yeah,
to use
Hungary.
your birth.
Hungary, you can't change your.
You're only allowed to use your birth
Yeah,
gender.
What?
and
Yeah.
Crazy.
Okay. Yeah, but I mean, you see some
They have
trans
a
girls
law.
and they are girls. They're like totally girls. So calling them Steve would be very strange.
Yeah.
But but in Hungary you can't change the gender on your passport is what it is. You can you can identify as anything you want.
okay.
Yeah, yeah.
You
Okay,
can
so your
walk-
friends would call you by your
you
preferred
can,
name.
You can walk around and you can call if you're born if you're a cisgendered male, you were born one. You could change it. You can walk around like one. You just can't change it on your passport or your ID.
Yeah, you just can't
Yeah,
change
but then
it
you go to
officially.
a bank with your boyfriend.
But
and they're
that's
like,
true. Right, that's which is interesting, right? Because that does cause issues when you travel. Correct.
Yeah, I just think call people whatever they want and don't worry about it. But
You can
so,
be he. You can be she her.
okay, so let's say I'm she her.
She her.
I'm listed on an agency site. I go to my first lesbian shoot.
What's it like? What's it like?
Yeah.
What's it like shooting girl from a female perspective as a performer?
It's more tasty, I would say.
Tasty.
Yes, because pussies taste. Actually, taste. You know, when you shoot porn with guys, they wash their dicks so much that there isn't zero smell or taste at all. But
I
a
thought that was
vagina.
polite, you know?
Well, that's what you hope they do. At least I mean, because I've worked next to guys, and I'm like,
Never happened to me. Normally, it's so clean that it's like sucking on a dildo.
Well, I've worked with girls and I've just been thinking,
yeah,
I'm not going.
Oh my god,
near-
yeah, I've worked with, especially out here where these girls, some of the girls that
Yeah.
don't douche at all. Never seen a douche, never will.
So I'm surprised.
Oh
at that.
boy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm like,
only
no.
once it happened to me. Only once. And it was on a shoot for a production that was doing kind of like amateur style porn. They were professional, but they were working with a lot of girls who were not porn actresses. They were just
New
basically
girls.
party girls who wanted to make some money and keep partying. And because they were party girls, you know, when you drink a lot of alcohol.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
I know what that is.
Yeah, so I had to like politely. I didn't imply anything. I just said, "Oh, hey, I'm going to a shower. Do you need a towel if you want to go next?" And
I've
that's
actually-
the
okay, what is-
issue.
I remember one of the girls on our set pulling the other new girl aside and be like, "I'm going to teach you how to use a douche right now." And this, we were shooting live, and there was multiple girls, and the girl she got a little pissy. She goes, "Dan," and she was 4 girls, and she took the one girl and she just, the one girl marched her to the bathroom, and I'm like, where's she going? And I tell my cameraman to keep rolling, and the other two. And I hear her telling this girl, and she's explaining to her and teaching her how to use a douche and cleaning her out. That was in America. LA.
But yeah, I think, but it has. Like,
but in general,
douche is not very healthy for you. If you shoot in every day or every other day,
now that's interesting.
You cannot use it all the time.
American girls will douche before every scene.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah, but it kind of destroys the pH balance in your pussy, and it makes you more susceptible to infections.
But I'm just saying that's how common it is. In fact, we even had a sign in the bathroom, and we had douches sitting out, and every girl in America, I mean, every girl would douche before the scene.
I don't douche before every scene, only if I, for example, recently had my period and I know that. But I shoot so much content that I clean my vagina with vibrators all day long.
That's one way of cleaning.
Yeah.
But so you say the one big difference you're saying is taste. Taste.
An acquired
and smell.
I'm going to call it an acquired taste.
No, most girls that I worked with, their pussies taste good.
That's good though.
Yeah, only once I had a kind of uncomfortable experience.
So taste and smell are different. What else is different?
Girls are more gentle, of course. There's a lot of patting. It's just.
Yeah, a lesbian seems generally less hardcore.
You know?
Would you say?
You can't shoot a hardcore lesbian scene. There are less of them being produced because I guess it's not that popular. There is even they still shoot not King.com the lesbian version. I never worked
really
for them
anymore.
No, they don't.
Yeah, like the owner sold. The owner made millions and millions and millions, and he kind of got out of the business.
Okay, I see. But there was the lesbian version of that.
There is a lot of hard in America, very hard. Lesbian porn. Lesbian porn I used to shoot. I guess you would classify it as hard because the girls I used were, like I said, most of the girls I used were solid lesbian performers, and they would use strap-ons, and they would pound you. If they would pound, they take these other 19-year-old girls or 20-year-old girls that were new to porn. They took them to Pound Town, and we would even joke or tell them calm down because they could fuck harder and longer than we can because there's no give, and the girls, some of the girls would be like. I was like, holy, and these little, the new girls would be like walking sideways by the time they were done getting fucked by them. I should bring my friend Aiden Ashley back over here because she was like we called her the queen of the strap-on. She's like a one-woman wrecking crew. She could plow through like three girls and these little girls like, by the end.
I had once I couldn't walk after a shoot with a girl with a strap-on, but that was because she didn't know how to use strap-on properly and she was going hard in a wrong way.
Okay, these girls are
so that was not good at all. So advice for girls who want to experiment with other girls or just starting their journey into sexuality and lesbian porn, just pick your strap-ons carefully. And check that
there's no give, right? That's what I mean. There's no give to a strap. Like if you're using a plastic strap on with a cock, there's give.
You can't feel it. You can't hurt yourself.
It's not as rigid. It's not as hard.
Yeah, it's not as hard. And if you don't know how to move it correctly, you can easily hurt a person. Yeah, because you don't have the sensation. Right. Yeah, and you should use strap-ons that are from material that they're not hard, and you can try
the more skin-like, more realistic.
Yeah, exactly. And my favorite one ever that I've had is the double one, but it's a strap-on.
Double dildo?
It's not a double dildo. It's a strap-on. You just put. It's like a double dildo with a thing in the middle, and the straps. So you put inside. You insert your part of the dildo, but it has a separator, so you cannot, no matter how hard you go, you cannot go further than this thing. So it makes you stop instead of
all the way.
All the way. The size is really nice, and it's like double pleasure.
Gotcha.
I have not tried yet a strap-on with clitoral stimulation, and I'm really looking forward for that.
What about like using a girl using a strap on you? Well, in our lesbian porn, we always use what some people call Hitachis, we call them magic wands. Mm-hmm. Do you use a lot of those?
Yes.
So a lot of the magic wands. And for people that don't know, those are the back massagers that you see sold everywhere in every store and all over the world, even
They're
Walmart.
amazing.
Everybody knows it's not the back
Okay,
massager.
I know, but they used to be Hitachi brand. Now there's 100 brands, and we call them.
Yeah, I guess like toys have to be more more popular in lesbian porn. Than
In lesbian porn, no, not necessarily. Yes, more used than in hetero porn, definitely. But some productions prefer to do more pussy eating, scissoring, and things like that than toys. Way more toys than hetero porn. More fun.
Are there any like genres of porn that are unique to lesbian porn? Like I've seen one, but maybe there's more.
Trimming. Trimming,
what's trimming?
scissoring, yeah.
Scissoring.
That's
scissoring,
a
of
genre,
course.
yeah, that's unique.
But you're talking about toys, so you're saying, for example, in a lesbian porn I produced, we always use toys, always.
On Vic Thomas, very rarely we would use toys, but very rarely.
And I think
for example,
most American style porn, they always use toys too,
it would be more
because it's
realistic.
harder. I think.
But yeah, I in my private life, I had girls that didn't like toys.
They didn't like the magic wand. What? Say what?
No, because
Who doesn't like that?
I had one girl that she wanted to be a guy, and it was first time a girl asked me to ride her from behind in like a reverse cowgirl position, because it's really hard to get to the clit, but somehow like she would put her powers up, so I was surprised to actually reach her clit with mine in that position. I thought it would be impossible. When she asked me, I was like, what? Really? And she would spank my ass and go like that. It really like she was a guy and she didn't want to use toys. Maybe maybe it's a strap on. She would. We didn't get to that point. I tried to give her different toys that I have just to try. She was not interested. I think it's more like a preference, personal preference though. Because most girls I've been with, they like toys.
What's the ethics of like toys? Because like for us, like I mean, even in my private life, if I feel like new girl, you have to get new toys. Because it feels a bit weird to like pull out some old toys.
You clean them,
like,
Tommy.
Like, oh, I've used these on my exes. No, I'm going to use them on you.
Oh my god!
And even on like, I mean, we're in our porn, we'd get posted like new toys all the time for free. So like we just use new ones every time.
We clean them.
No,
we clean them. Yeah.
In-
I have special toy.
So you don't just have like this, pull out
disinfectant
this.
spray.
No, we have
There is a
disinfectant
special
spray. I have bottles of disinfectant spray.
Still-
You buy it in sex shop,
Yeah, buy it
but
on
in
the-
your private life it's different because most people, sadly, are still not so comfortable, with that sex is like a thing for everybody and not just between you and your couple, and they don't want to see
Tommy, if you wouldn't want to share his toy,
I wouldn't want to share my toys.
Tommy won't share his girlfriend. Tommy won't share anything. Tommy's the greedy little kid. Man, come on, she's mine.
I just think a person is different.
Tommy won't
to toys.
share
I think-
anything.
But you let people share your dick though.
Oh, because that's for the sharing of the world. This is Tommy's logic.
It's so special. No, I just think
Have you seen his Tinder profile? Share my penis with the planet. Nothing else. Everything else is mine. He's a little kid Tommy's a kid in a sandbox with 30 toys. Get out of my sandbox.
it's kind of true. But toys are a funny one for me. I do feel like I'd feel embarrassed to pull out some old toys to a new girl.
Because you think that
Because
she
you
would not like
think
it.
everything because you're putting yourself in her position.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're making
Because it's the way you feel. You don't want anyone to play with your Star Wars toys or your baseball cards. That's why.
So I should just be more like, hey, Sarah really liked this one, so maybe you will too.
You can actually ask your exes to give reviews for the sex.
Yeah, they
toys,
should review them.
yeah.
Well,
What
me.
advice would you give? Okay, if a content, because and I'm going to say the best performers come from content creators. If a content creator decides to do commercial porn, okay, and we're going to call what I shoot commercial porn,
Yeah.
we're going to call content creators an OnlyFans, a cam girl, a mini big girl. What advice would you give her if somebody was coming from the content creating side to the commercial side and wanted to do porn? Lesbian porn.
Talk to performers. We all normally like to communicate with each other and we want to help out. If there's a new girl who doesn't know anything, I would suggest reach out to your favorite performers on Instagram,
Before they
on
do
Twitter,
commercial, the lesbian
before
porn.
you start shooting any kind of commercial porn.
Yeah.
And ask for an advice and ask which productions are good to work with for, which agencies are good to work with, how to...
Knowledge is power. The more information, if
Yeah.
you're a content creator and you want to get into commercial or start shooting porn for professional companies, knowledge is power. That makes sense.
Exactly.
So-
And some girls think like, oh, she has so many followers, she will never see my message, she will never reply. But that's not true. If we look through DMs all the time to check if there are any work offers, because we are reached out from by productions through social media very often. The thing is that we don't have time to talk to every fan on social media, so we do not reply messages like, hey, how are you? But if we see a message from a girl who says that she wants to start porn and she needs some help, 90% of
that's great advice.
Girls,
For female models who want to get into porn.
I feel like
Shooting
everyone in the
porn.
industry is really helpful.
Yeah,
to others
well,
in the
like I
industry.
said, to communicate and reach out to your favorite performers, and if you're a female and you're interested in shooting professionally or commercially.
Yeah, and if
reach
you're
out.
shooting
It's great
for
advice.
dance production, buy a douche.
And for your like guy
And
fans,
use deodorant, please.
If you come to shoot with me, don't use anything at all.
and for your
Don't shower for a couple of days.
and for your male fans, like because even when I'm filming lesbian porn, I've kind of like picked up a few tricks. I'm like watching, going, oh, she's doing that. Like, do you think there's things that men can learn from lesbian porn?
Definitely. I actually shot a tutorial on pussy eating with Jade Presley and Agatha
That's cool.
Vega. Agatha was a new girl in porn, and she's still relatively new, but it was her first month. And she told us that she didn't have much experience with girls and she wanted to learn. And Jade is like the best pussy eater I know.
Who is the girl?
Jade Presley, she's
know who that
Spanish actress. She
Is she a content or she commercial?
she has her website, she has OnlyFans. She does do commercial shoots, but her rates are quite high and she doesn't travel, so
I never heard of
she
her.
doesn't
What
shoot
makes
a
her
lot.
the best? What makes her the best?
What makes
pussy
you-
eater?
You watch the tutorial and you will find
Oh,
out. I
such
have
a
a course
tease.
sale on
This is
OnlyFans.
the
Can you
ad.
buy, can
This
you
is the
buy this
ad.
video on ManyVids?
On OnlyFans.
On OnlyFans? On your OnlyFans?
For now, yeah.
On your
yeah.
OnlyFans? Ding,
Yeah.
ding, ding, ding,
Have
ding.
we been paid for this advert? Or?
Yeah, she secretly paid. She's buying me vodka shots.
Am I being paid for the podcast?
Okay.
She's
breathe out.
bribing me. She's bribing me.
Oh, funny experiences. Oh my god! Every time I'm being asked that, like I would have to think about it. There were many, but I don't know how to do delivery and make it really funny.
You were telling me about like
Oh my God,
scissoring the
yes.
other day.
Yeah, no, but I'm gonna talk about a different story. It's not per se focused on lesbian porn. It's a language thing. I was shooting with Alexa Thomas. She's retired now, but a brilliant actress.
Very
but her
pretty girl.
English, yeah, she's
Very
beautiful.
pretty.
Yeah, one of the prettiest girls.
Yeah, and her English is not so strong. And we were shooting a cat fight scene. It's a fetish scene for my friend's production. And she was supposed to look at me and say, "You little whore." And she looks at me so like she's angry and she says, "You little horse." We all die. And she said it, I think, twice.
Oh no.
And
Well,
you little
well,
horse.
I mean, if you were a thicker model, that could be a bad insult, but
Oh my God.
man,
I love language problems though. When it's cute and fun,
when it's cute and funny, it's
Yeah, I had also a shot for Viv Thomas with Mary Pie, and she's a very tall girl, and I'm super short. So we had to try and make it less comical to see us together choosing angles. They were shooting from behind my shoulder. I just stand on my tiptoes.
Oh.
And she was a little bit like squatting a little bit just to make us fit in the frame together. And then it was a very dramatic moment, and she had to come up to me and say, "This happened many times, but I don't want to suffer anymore." And like 6 times in a row, she says, "This happened many times, but I don't want to suffer anymore." And I die. And the team was exhausted. It was the last scene we shot of the day. It was like 11 p.m. And the director was like, "Please just say something. I don't care if you say it right. And you, shut up, stop laughing." we couldn't finish because of that.
Yeah, but I love acting in porn. It's my favorite, especially in Europe.
Especially here with the
Like-
language barrier.
Like me and Dan have had a few nights where we've just like been browsing our friends' porn scenes and just giggling at some of the acting.
Yeah, some companies, you'd think by now some of the European-based companies, well, especially since they're owned by Americans.
Remember when we found Albert and it looked like he was having a seizure?
Well, yeah,
in
but
his
they would
porn.
learn by now not to give these complicated scripts to European performers who don't speak English, and they haven't. And it's just...
But it's hilarious
It's
when it
amazing.
happens.
It's
and it
hilarious
doesn't
to me
make
as a
them bad
native English speaker, but I
performers.
feel bad for these performers. I'm like, come on, you're killing them. Like, I improvise. Because I get a performer, and it happens often, that doesn't speak good English. We're improvising, and they're going to, like, some girls, like the girl last week, she didn't have to say a single line.
It makes me laugh
They
when...
can get lost very easily. There's all sorts of things that they don't have to
Or
talk.
sometimes it's a native English performer and you can see the guy's so hungover that they just cut all his lines out.
Yeah, but if it's a great performer for the scene, it's a great performer for
Exactly.
the scene. Mary Pie was brilliant. My scene with her is one of my favorites.
Which is cute.
So if girls
And
are
she's
interested,
hilarious.
if girls are interested in doing lesbian porn with you, since you're a content creator, how would be the best way they should contact? If any girls, any fellow lesbian content creators, how would they get in touch with you?
On Instagram, you can
On Instagram,
for
they can DM
girls,
you.
for girls who want to shoot
For girls, I
lesbian
didn't say you, he, she identifier.
Yeah. No, girls or trans.
Girls or trans?
I have never had a sexual experience with a trans, not in my
So
private.
if you're
but I want
if you're a
to.
trans
So-
or a cisgendered female, Thomas, that would like to do lesbian porn with you for your content creation, the best way to contact you is through
It's from my Instagram.
is to
Yes.
do it DMing you.
Yeah,
Okay, interesting.
exactly.
Now, what if you and
But be really clear. Don't just say hello, because if you just say hi, I have 100 messages to
Is
just
this
say
why
hi.
people aren't
Right.
replying to me?
But somebody, so a female wants to get in. Okay, that's okay. There you go. And now if they want to ask, and the same thing goes, if they want to ask you questions about shooting commercially or professionally, they can contact
Of course,
the same
of course.
way.
Yes,
Well,
yes,
so
yes.
Talia was willing.
And people do. I had girls,
Right,
quite a few girls asking me how to start
How to shoot
in
pre-
porn. Yeah,
Cool.
and
So that was lesbian porn. Did you learn anything, Dan?
I did.
What did you learn?
Talia's very nice, and she did.
Talia is very nice.
Yes, she's much
Thank
nicer than
you.
me. It hasn't had as many bad experiences with lesbian porn.
well, I have never made a girl squirt, and you
Oh.
have done it many times. So
That is
Something to learn.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Depends on how you define nice. I would say making
No,
a
you're
girl
nicer
squirt
than me.
is really
yeah,
nice.
No, yeah,
We could last week we invented Porn Island. So this week I think we should invent some sort of porn skill sharing.
skill sharing.
Yeah,
Just
For
a
sure.
I
little-
can do a video on how to make girls squirt, and she can do on how to eat pussy, and we can share it for the world.
yeah.
There we go.
Be cool.
You can teach me how to make a girl squirt.
I can teach you. Yeah.
I don't need to teach you how to eat
Yeah.
pussy,
No.
but you can watch or film better.
Or film.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool. Well, if you like the podcast, just subscribe on Apple Podcasts, or on Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
To get in contact with us, reach out to us on our website, howtobeapornstar.net. Talk to me and he, she identifying wokester,
Yes, if you have
the
any,
lesbian who doesn't share toys.
if you have
Tommy.
any questions for us, or you want to send any stupid custom requests to Dan, $20 is the starting price.
$20,
I guess.
and sure, and for $20, I can have no problem shooting a 20-guy bukkake with your favorite actress. That's all they get paid, and the guys, and the location, and the camera crew. All those $20.
I've got to start doing customs.
Yeah, $20 is all it does.
They-
Customs are more than $20 though. Come on.
I'm
Why are you selling
joking.
yourself so cheap?
There are thousands and thousands of dollars to shoot this, but the request I get, the people don't understand the cost.
yeah.
Yeah, I've never had
okay,
a
okay.
request. I'm going to have to add a section on my site. Just
Maybe that's what they think.
customs. Yeah.
That's what they think I'm worth. Right.